video number dos of my series about how I became a correctional officer. So my first day in the academy was rough. I was a little fat boy, which I'm still am, and it was hard to actually pass like the run and the push-ups and the sit-ups because I wasn't like active as far as like workout wise. Like I wasn't serious about my health or my physique in order to be able to actually pass the run. And even till this day, like I'm still not that great at it, but I tried to be as best as I can. So when I went to the academy, they had the run where you have to do a mile and a half. I think it was, what was it, under 16 or under 15 minutes? I can't remember what it was back then, but it was rough. I didn't pass it, but the academy that I went through, they were more lenient because the money was coming from the unemployment center, and they were pretty much being able to try to pass everybody. They pretty much help everybody that they can help to actually pass the academy. Those who weren't able to pass the academy were obviously kicked out because of their own mistakes, or because they just couldn't pass the test, or whatever the case may be. The first day in the academy was rough because I didn't know anybody, and as everybody else would go, you tend to be a little nerve wracked because of the fact that you don't know anybody. And I got to meet a lot of good people in that academy, you know what I mean? And one of them I called friend for a long time, and he helped me get through the academy one way or another. He gave me a ride to work, or he gave me a ride to the academy. He gave a lot of us a ride to the academy. We pretty much rode together all together, so because it was like a 25 to 30 minute drive to get to the location out of where we was living. So we all met up at his place, and we just pretty much took a ride over there. The academy consists of interpersonal skills, defensive tactics, spray. The spray was rough. It was tough. And shooting. And I want to say back then the revolver was pretty good. Didn't have much of a kickback. That was my first time ever shooting. It was in the academy, and I loved it. I fell in love with it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but obviously I don't own a revolver right now. And so the academy went on. I failed almost every single class except for first aid. I passed by like pretty much they helped me pass. I ain't gonna lie. The academy I went to pretty much helped me pass by kicking out a lot of the bad questions that a lot of people was getting wrong. And all I needed was 80% or higher, and some I got just that 80%. First aid was probably my only best one that I had. I think I had over 90% on the first aid. All the other ones, I had to know the fundamentals of a weapon, the spraying, how to use it, how much to use and whatnot. And so it was tough. When I passed the academy, it was funny because all my friends were like, "Oh snap, now you're certified to kick people on their heads, and if they disrespect you, you could just throw them on the ground and this and that." I'm like, no sir, it doesn't work that way anymore. Back maybe over 20 years ago it happened, but nowadays, like, it's totally different. Corrections have evolved into a point where even detainees, inmates have rights, and I think it's okay to a point. Like, mistreating them is one thing. When they get disrespectful and you can't really do much to it, that's another thing. If they get disrespectful, some places like over here in Nevada or over at Core Civic, they don't really take it into accountable. Oh, you write them up, but then when they go and see the pretty much like the jail or the prison judge, which is the DR coordinator lady, they don't do anything to them but take away their commissary and then throw them right back inside the same unit where the officer had issues with. So corrections have evolved. They've changed to a different perspective. They are more to try to make sure that their customers are satisfied with what's going on. A lot of times their customers don't see that their officers or the private sector's officers are the ones that are having an issue with. And I want to say that, that's not right. That's not right at all. But, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion at all. First time, the first year I started with corrections was over in like CCA. I had some ups and downs over there. It wasn't really that bad. I learned real quick that if you don't have a thick skin, because detainees will always try to disrespect you in their own ways, because they're not grown ass mans, that they want to go ahead and like tell you in your face and you know what I mean, and take the consequences, whatever the consequences is that. And a lot of them just really just want to talk behind your back. So I had learned that the hard way. I learned that the detainees will never be a man. They will always be what they are, a detainee or an inmate, and all they're gonna do is just talk behind your back. So my first year, I remember one of the detainees decided that one of them wanted to say something funny, but I've talked to this detainee enough to know what his voice sounds like, and he had said something slick about my physique, and I called him out. I was like, "Who said that?" Like, I turned around, and I was like, "Who said that?" And everybody was just like, you know, it was just want to act like, you know what. Anyways, you get the point. And so I called him out afterwards. I was like, "Hey, come on out here. Let me talk to you real quick." I told him, I was like, "The next time you decide you want to disrespect me, make sure you disrespect me in my face. Don't say it behind my back, because if you're just gonna sit there and be a little, you know what, then there's no need for you to be talking. I don't need you to sit there and actually disrespect me behind my back just so you can actually have a laugh with your buddies, because that's not cool. I wouldn't sit there and actually disrespect you. So why are you disrespecting me?" You know what I mean? Like, I may have taken it the hard way, like I wasn't thick-skinned at that time, but over the years I developed the point that, you know, these detainees will only say what they want to say behind your back, and if they say it in your face, they never actually say it directly. They'll just be indirectly telling you what they want to tell you. So, you know, overall, you just have to be able to have that thick skin and develop it really, really fast. If you feel like you can't develop it right away, it will take time. Don't give up on it. Don't feel like you have to give in to them in order for them to respect you in some way, because the moment you stop doing whatever it is that you're doing with them, either A, they'll become snitch and they'll tell on your staff members, or they'll tell on you to your supervisors, or B, they'll make your time even harder. So you have to be able to be thick-skinned and be consistent, fair, and pretty much be like all the way across equally with everybody else. So that is my only thing for what I learned from the first year, was that everybody would try you in one way or another. Oh, I had one detainee one time ask me, "Hey, if you had found $100 in my property, would you turn it in and, you know, put me in the hole, or would you keep it?" I was like, "I'll turn it in. Why do I need $100? I don't need $100. I'm making way more than that in a 2-week period than I would, you know, trying to get it from you. So why would I want to sit there and try to collect what, $100? It's not even worth it. I don't care if you would have paid me $1,000, $2,000, or you could have paid me $20,000. I would not become one of those officers that would just sit there and be dirty. Like, I hate that. I hated that from the get-go. From what the academy showed me about how officers wouldn't really care about another officer's situation, it's shitty. It's really, really bad. So don't do it. That's another thing I learned in my first year. And in the academy is to, if you're going to become dirty, if you're going to come into the prison setting so you can be dirty and just pretty much bring in anything to any detainee because you feel like that's the way that they'll respect you, you might as well give it up. Don't even think about trying to come in. Just leave it alone. Because if you just think about it, you're not endangering yourself. You're also endangering everybody else around you, and you're endangering all your other officers. So with that being said, I got to go in, and this is my... Okay. That big building right there. Anyways, catch you guys later.